great story. I can't wait for the book. It's good. It's very good. There were times, a number of times, where I would just stop what I was doing and I would scan Josh and I would just make sure that he was okay. There were times, many times during that trip. Every time I scanned him, he was okay. And then there were times he'd call in and verify it. And what he did was extraordinary. Now, what I was talking to you about over the last week or so, 2 weeks, is about being able to transport yourself to wherever they are and be in that place and get information. Okay, that's the purpose of what you were doing, calling each other on the phone. Okay. Now, I'm curious, how well has that been turning out? Any comments, any observations? Please.
Well, Sandra and I had a pretty interesting, we were only able to really coordinate once, except the other time we tried to coordinate, I texted her the moment she thought of me. So that was today.
Okay.
But
Okay.
there was the first time, and I don't know if you want to go first, but it was quite interesting because I asked her something like, I said, I see this ring. I see something like there's a ring, and it's like really difficult pulling it out. And what's with the ring? You know, what's with the ring? And tell me about the ring.
Just for the benefit of the people that weren't here 2 weeks ago, would you mind explaining a little bit about what you're doing, you and Sandra?
Okay, so what we were doing is basically, we texted each other to coordinate a time. We didn't want to talk.
Right.
Because we didn't want to kind of feel how the other person was doing.
Right.
And so we just texted and said, okay, we're going to 5 minutes. And then we gave each other 5 minutes, and then we called. And then she gave me her observations, I gave her my observations, and then it was like, wow, on both ends.
Good.
So my observation, one of them was, and this was the most significant for me, was that I saw this hand with a ring, and it was like, the ring was hard to get off the finger. And I said, what's with the ring, you know? And
Oh, well, you want to know what's with the ring? I work with a woman who is a nutritionist at a health food store.
Right.
And she turns 89 in January, and she's a total delight. Her name is Joyce. And I had a birthday October the 6th, and she decided, well, she had lost a little bit of weight. She couldn't get this ring off. She couldn't get it on her finger anymore. It was just sliding off. And she just surprised me and said that she wanted to give it to me as a birthday gift. And it's a prasolite. The stone in it is a prasolite. And I'd never heard of it before, but it fit perfectly on my pinky. And so that's the ring that
And you didn't know anything about
she
this.
must have picked up on, because I really appreciated it, and it fit, and it was like, what a lovely gift. She just gave it to me, you know, and I'll always cherish that.
Sandra, are you proud of that ring?
I am.
When you look at that, does that invoke a lot of strong energy?
It does, yeah. And I haven't done the research on the stone, but it's called a prasolite. Now, I've never heard of one before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you feel energized when you look at that ring?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I
And
don't
that
wear it
day she didn't wear it.
Yeah.
And that day she said, I didn't wear that ring today.
Well, when I'm at home and I'm not going anywhere, I tend to just leave it because I'm working around the house and I don't want to knock it or, you know, hurt it in any way. So, but it sits there in my bathroom, and when I'm ready to go, I put my watch on, put my ring on, and off I go.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. That's a great
And then
success.
she had a great observation too, about the collection.
Would you tell us about that?
The collection?
Yeah. Well, first before that, for some reason, I thought that she was wearing purple. And I asked her, I said, are you wearing purple today? And what was it? It was
And
lavender?
I had like a lavender on my blouse.
Yeah, yeah. So for some reason, purple was coming to me.
Okay.
And then also, I asked her in regards to what room she was actually in, and I said, are you in a bedroom or the living area or whatever? And she said, the living area. And I said, do you collect things? Whatever it might be. I just wondered if she had any collections around her. Now that was coming up. And I told her that back when I was a teacher in the classroom, that I worked with some other teachers that used to talk about that if you collect things, it's a sign of intelligence. And I just threw that out there at her, and you tell them what you told me.
I was sitting there looking at his camera collection.
the impressions that you were getting, did they just come to you, or were you
Pop
putting
in.
yourself into a certain type of state?
Well, first I had to go into the meditation
Yeah.
to relax. I had to get into that zone. And then it was like, I just saw it.
Okay, good.
And
Very
I
good.
had also done the meditation.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Okay, good.
We timed it, it worked out real good, it just really came together.
Very good. Very good. Good story. Very good story. Anyone else have a good story? Please.
So I was with Sherry Cook,
Okay, good.
and one thing about the meditation, we were supposed to do it for our agreement before we got on the phone call, and I hadn't done it. So we set our little timers for 12 minutes, and I did the meditation first. And I just felt a pulling from my head when I was doing it, something I've never felt before. That's just a little sideline that was happening. And so after our 12 minutes, she told me what she was thinking, and I told her what I was thinking, and then we responded.
Okay.
And there were some kind of things like, are you wearing blue pants? Yes, I want blue jeans. Are you wearing black shoes? Well, they're not on, but I'm always wearing them, and they're right over there 2 feet away. Or candle, yeah, it's right over here. Or
Wow.
by the light, yeah, I'm sitting by the
Very good.
window. But the one was, I felt a twinge in my right thumb when I first started thinking about her, and it went right away, but I wrote it down. And that was one of the things, and she goes, well, I have a sore on my thumb, and the skin is peeling, and it's on her right thumb.
Wow.
So that was our biggest hit.
Very good. Very good. That's very good. I'm impressed. So,
And I might add, this is kind of away from this, but that was the night that I talked to, the evening that I talked to Ruthie. I also submitted a question on a call with Masajati, who does, he does different healing techniques, and he's very intuitive, and he had like 3 near-death experiences and then one that he actually died and came back. And so the work that he does now is to help others.
right.
And something told me, even though I didn't feel like calling in, something told me, submit your question that you asked about my nephew is severely depressed right now. He's only 23. So I just briefly typed in there, my nephew, 23-year-old, Will Mims, is severely depressed. So the first email that he took on this call, he was taking live calls in, and I didn't want to do that. I submitted this email. The first time he took an email, he took mine. And he said that he could see what was going on with him, and that something happened when he was 7, 8, 9, and that was his parents' divorce, and that he had also come in contact with a Ouija board, and that a spirit has been trying to pull him to the other side. And actually, during the Thanksgiving holiday, my sister was concerned about him being suicidal. And so he said that he was going to take care of it from afar. And he's doing much better now. But it was the same night, and he said that somebody's extremely intuitive. And I'm like, is he talking about me? No way. And so I guess he was.
Very good. One more story. Anyone else? That's had a good success. Anyone else?
I couldn't talk to Kathleen, so I don't know what
Okay.
happened.
Come on. Sharon, did you?
This isn't more about a story, but what's with the Ouija boards? I was hearing something someplace else about
I
them
haven't
being
heard about one of those in
dangerous. Isn't that
ages.
just like, why would that be more dangerous than calling the spirit for information without a Ouija board? It's kind of like a dowsing tool or a pendulum, or why is it different?
Well, remember the 3-step process that we go through about clearing the external, clear the internal, and then refill yourself? If you'll do that, then all of those different mechanisms are the same. Okay, but if you don't do that, anything can happen.
But kids play with Ouija boards. I did that when I was 10. I remember that
Showing
at
what they're
slumber
getting
parties.
into. Right, that can be very dangerous.
And he brought that up, so it was like, whoa.
So,
Yeah, my experience with Ouija boards is my wife, when she was 13 years old, decided that it would be a good idea to take a Ouija board and her friends and go into the room where a girl had committed suicide. So, the experience was this, and this comes from her sister and her and one of her other friends who they're still close with. The obvious question was, as a 13-year-old, who am I going to marry? And The answer was Scott. She knew 10 different Scotts. She hated every damn one of them. She said, I want another name, not another person. He said Scott, and it said Michael. She goes, okay, I know a couple Michaels who I think are cute. My first two names are Scott Michael.
One more thing.
Sure, yes.
But I actually, last week when we did our prayer and we spoke the name, to pray for somebody,
Right.
I spoke my nephew's name, Will. And so this has happened just in this past week.
That's very good. Very good. Well, the question is, how can we do this, all of us, more effectively, quickly, and efficiently, and do it consistently? We've been working on this for the last 3 months, and we've been dealing pretty much with the energetic concepts, the Q state, making the water, doing our meditation. But now we have to put more meat to the substance. And this sheet was something I was working on since Thanksgiving to kind of take us further along. So forgive me for the way it looks, but this is the latest version of it right now. If we go to part A at the top, you'll see the human body. We can't forget one thing. The one thing is, no matter what we're doing, we have a human body. And this is interacting with all the energy both out there and inside of us. This human body we have to take into consideration. Now, partly we've done that by using these energetic methods, by using the lights, the water, the meditation, some of the other things. But this is a human body. It's a physical body. And because it's a physical body, it needs physical help. It needs physical things like diet, exercise, water, sleep. But I went into a lot of detail to see what do we really need physically to start working with the energetic concepts to really turn the power on so that we are sending out clear signals. We're also receiving clear signals. So the top at A is sending out clear signals. We're taking our beliefs, thoughts, and desires, that's information, we're sending it out through our body, out into the environment to create some type of an effect, to create some manifestation of something. Okay? Whether it's changing the environment around us, whether it's praying for someone, we don't care what it is, but we're working on the environment to change it to help us and to help others. That's A. B, at the bottom there, is now we're reversing it. Now we are sensing the environment, and we're allowing that energy to go through us into our energetic centers so that we are now sensing what's around us. Okay, kind of like what you guys were doing on the phone. Okay? Now, obviously, between A and B, we have the human body. So I started asking, what systems of the human body do we need to focus on if we're going to optimize everything we've been doing over the last 3 months? Now, because we can scan, we can get answers that a lot of people can't, and we can get it fast. It's the beauty of what we're doing. So between the skin, hair, and nails, and the reproductive system, we have 8 other systems. So I scanned all 10 systems, and the ones that came up first was reproduction first, endocrine second, urinary system third, digestive system fourth. Now, first I looked at this and I was wondering, could this be right? Well, if you go back to Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, he talks about sex energy in that book, remember? He talks about sex energy. Now, he doesn't mean the act of sex. He's talking about the energy of sex, the creation of life, the creation of energy, the creation of going on a vision quest, the creation of getting a wonderful gem on your finger, the creation of doing something that inspires you. That's what we're talking about. I knew we were right. So the reproductive system, though, when you think about it, it's the only system of the body that is somewhat unnecessary, but all the other systems are essential for our life and living. We can get away without having some parts in that reproductive system. But we cannot, if we're talking about energetic methods, we want that system intact. It's the primary system that energizes us to both receive and transmit information. It's beautiful the way this is working. And then the endocrine system, well, we can think about that because the reproductive system, the endocrine system, follows along this antenna system, the spinal system. Everything follows this antenna system we've been talking about. The top 2 systems of the body are right along that antenna, powering that. The urinary system, digestive system, well, they're slightly off-center, the urinary, but the digestive is following straight along that antenna system. So everything we've been talking about is beautiful in terms of being able to explain how this really works, because that's my goal, is to explain this both scientifically and energetically. So I went further than that. And I didn't put it on here because I'm developing that right now, but I started asking that, okay, we're now developing a model. developing a model that deals with the energetic profiles and the physical profiles. So energetically, what does this mean? Because I want to find out the truth. Are we really going in the right direction by making the cure water, by making the meditations, by doing the energetic therapies that we've been doing in the office? Yes, without doubt. Without doubt. It keeps coming up that we're doing the right thing. Now, I may add to that the batch flower remedies and maybe some homeopathics on top of that. That may come in later here, but we've got the basis going. When it comes to the physical, now we're getting into some really good biochemistry. Now we're getting into the energetic mechanisms of the cell, like alpha-lipoic acid, or alpha-lipoic acid, acetyl-L-carnitine, fats, iodine, things like this are coming up now. I'll have all this done for you in the next week or two. But now we're going to put power to this. Now we are going to take this, and we're going to be able to put these things in our body to really amplify our sensory systems on all levels. This is the beautiful part of where we're going. I'll have more information next week or two about that. But just want to give you some profile on this. So it's important. One of the reasons why you guys had such good success was you were excited about what you were doing. Sandra, you were excited about the ring. That energy, that's that reproductive energy, that's sex energy. You were sending that out. You picked it up beautifully. And you were sending out things you were proud of. Because you're energetic about this, you want to know. That type of energy is what creates things. This is what creates things. This is how we manifest things. We don't do it while we're depressed. The Russians have a saying, never go to a depressed psychic. We don't do it when we're depressed. Okay? We only do it when we're excited. Josh, you were excited going through this trip. I mean, it must have been a hoot every day. I mean, putting your life on the line, going through this, I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that, right? For that excitement. Few of us are going to live this way. Okay. But it was so easy to pick him up no matter where he was because he was sending out that energy so strongly, it was amazing. Okay. We need to live this way. That's a great example. Okay. We need to live this way. Okay. If we have that excitement about whatever we're doing, we're going to be sending that out and you're going to get results fast, especially with the techniques we're learning. It's real simple. If you're not excited about what you're doing, you're plodding along, it's going to take a long time. That's why reproductive system came up first. Out of all the 10 systems, that comes up number 1 because that's creation. That's what we're doing. It's beautiful. It's creation. Okay? So, any questions about this? Where we are right now? That's your book somewhat. Okay. Any other? Second.
Oh, I just might add, I've always thought of other people as being intuitive, not me. And so when I volunteered, it was like, why did you make me do this? I was asking the question, why did I have to do that, you know? I was asking, why did I volunteer? But I felt like I needed to volunteer to do it. And I didn't know who I was going to connect with, but I walked down the aisle and Ruthie said, let's do it. You know?
Right, that's right. And you were right. All those other people are psychic, so are you. Okay? It's just now we've got to give ourselves a chance to really reproduce who and what we are and become who and what we are. Mrs. Weiss, you made a huge recovery. Why? You did. You made a huge recovery. What kept you going? Why?
Well, I wanted to keep going.
Why? Of course you did, but why?
Well, I thought I still had a lot of things I had to do that I hadn't done, and
Good.
I wanted to be able to finish it.
Good. Good. That was a smart decision. Okay. That's for all of us. There's a lot for us to do. You decide what it is. God's not going to hold you back. Okay? But make that decision. You can do it. Sandra, would you mind taking us through the meditation, please?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thank
All right, everybody get comfortable. Well, however comfortable you need to be to meditate. And remember that our type of breathing makes such a difference. If you haven't done it before, you're going to do beautifully. So let's breathe in for expansion and breathe out for relaxation.
Imagine that you are standing on a platform in the center of a large surrounding sphere. Using your breath, expand the sphere that is so large, you relax. Make it as large as it needs to be for you. Doing this, you've purified your external environment. You're still in the center of the sphere. Imagine that the hands of God are within your body. And the hands of God are holding all the poisons that are the weeds and roots of your resistances. God's hands extract from you fully all the things that are holding you back, all the things that are limiting you from being who you're intended to be. Imagine and give God permission to move far enough away while holding on to the poisons until the physical separation is so large you can relax again. Your internal environment is now purified also. Now proceed to spray yourself with your Q liquid, your Q statement. What do you want? The statement of what you want. You're going to spray yourself with a large hose. You also notice that there are 4 large buckets surrounding you with the Q liquid. These buckets are health, wealth, loving relationships, and time. These buckets are filled with abundance. Each of these 4 are going to be filled to overflowing. Continue to spray yourself, your image, with this liquid. And as you do so, you're filling up all the spaces in your body where those roots and weeds of resistances used to be. Fill every space with that bright light, with that liquid, the light of God. You're so full of this white light, this God light, that you're illuminated. Your buckets are full, your body is full of God's light. as you're spraying yourself, you see yourself smile. You nod your head. And you watch yourself open and close your mouth, saying yes. 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 You're saying yes to you. Seeing all of this in your vivid imagination, you tell yourself that you are receiving the items from your Q statement, those specific items. What do you want? What do I want? Knowing that you are full of God's light, the buckets are full of God's light, and your statement is full of God's light, you are free to manifest. Strongly manifest what is on your Q statement. Strongly manifest what you want. As always, we complete this statement with the energy of gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To God as you understand Him, to the universe, to your source.